Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Drafting Dimes on channel Trevor-The-Timmy. I'm Trevor, definitely a Timmy, so let's have some fun as we get into this. We're just waiting for this table to get ready. Here we go. Hopefully we can draft something sweet today. Have some good success. If you'd be so kind, I'd love if you could give me a like or a comment on the channel, subscribe. It would all be much appreciated. Got a lot of potentially good black cards here. I think this has been very solid. It can either just be very aggressive, or you can play a little defensively with it, and then eventually it just dies and draws a card, so it's definitely fine. The Striders got us in the last video. I haven't really played with it much. I've heard definitely good things. I haven't actually played against it much either. I think we're going to take the God and see what happens. The alternate is to take the Wizard Giant. So debating about switching next. We haven't tried Giants really at all yet. I think the backside of this is just good enough, though, that we're going to keep that. And we might instantly be going into white. I'm very high in this card. All three of these are actually pretty fine. These are fine on commons, but I think the goal here would be draft this, wheel that, and go into something white aggressive. If we wanted to go snow, if we'd taken Strider, we'd be taking this most likely. Then we're going to take the Spirit and try to go a little aggressive here. This has been very good. A couple snow cards open again. We're going to take the Angel. If we wheel the other one, that's not a bad place to be either. Getting for some haste damage, allows you to cast 2 spells in a turn. Maybe settle into a nice black-white 2 spells deck, something of that nature. Probably makes this better as a curved hopper too then, and or as a source of card advantage. Either way, then the backside allows you to play 2 spells. I like this probably better in an aggressive deck, so you don't mill yourself out. The awkward side if you try to play it in control is, sure, it's card advantage when you play the throne side, but milling yourself is a real thing in a little bit grindier format. We can get blown out. I do like this. I don't know if I would take it this early, but I'm also not sure what else we're taking here. I would play one of these, but I'm not go heavy on it. Splashing the aggressive deck is pretty awkward. And none of these are really what you want if you're going aggressive. I think we're going to take this as a removal spell and just see what happens. If we had started snow, this is where we'd be. This has been very high variance, can be very good. Again, we probably will play one of these. Maybe it's better to just take this and stick on path. We'll take it and see. Striders are coming along pretty late. We'll take the land and stay open though. I realize we've kind of gone down one path, and that should be rewarding for us. This is one of the better uncommons for this type of deck. We'll probably play either of those, but definitely taking the high power uncommon. Should just be easy to make it into a 3/3 or maybe even a 5/5 some games. I don't need a bunch of 3-drops. We've already got at least a 3-drop. We'd maybe play one of these to burn people out later. I'm going to take this and see if we get any runes. We'd probably even take an off-colored rune based on this, because it should get it from anywhere. It gets from hand library or graveyard. So we can search up any one and just make this into a better equipment. If we start getting some 1-drops too, which makes them into real threats. So I think that's a pretty safe pick for this type of deck. Happy with how this has gone so far. I think based on our first 2 picks, this has continued to be open. We've got some really good uncommons. And then, of course, the fun uncommon where we can get blown out for value. So this is an interesting. I do like this as a top-end card, but we're not most likely going to have enough snow to make that work. I think we're just taking this as an easy way to play a second spell in a turn. So we've got 2 drops ready that benefit for that. This is fine too, but I've liked this more. think we're going to take another one of these. We could potentially go with the go wide, but I think we can get one of those later. They're normally not high valued. So if we were playing snow, we'd be getting some nice late things. Take that as a 2-drop though. Again, it's kind of a slow one, but it sets up our double spells. So if we play this on turn, where do you go now? Play this on turn 2. Play either of these on 3. So this or the Spirit on turn 3. Play those first. Follow it up with him. You just get both. I think we'll take another one. I don't think we're grindy enough for this. We're not going to have enough snow for that to pay off. I don't know how many of these we'll play. Hopefully not too many. But they at least kind of fit with the theme. Be interesting to see how often we play this just as a 1-drop versus as the 6/6. Probably if we draw it early, it'll be the 1-drop, get a second spell, and then have the ability to continue to draw cards. If you draw mid-game, it could really be either. We will take a dogged pursuit, see if we can maybe burn somebody out. I don't think we play more than one of those, most likely, but we'll try this in an aggressive deck. I have not played this yet in the format. We will take this now that it's come back around. Again, would not play many, but the ability to return a creature is fine. It's kind of like a removal spell. We may play it. I'd like to see a rune. I don't know how highly we draft one, but we'd like one of them to help this pay off a little bit. Definitely not taking one over a bomb rare. It's late for that guy. He's been fine. Oh, these are some cards for us. What do we have for elves and berserkers? 1 berserker, 0 elves. It is just a good aggressive card. I think this is probably better though. So we do have 2 creatures as 2-drops already. We definitely like more, but if we have some filler ones, that's fine. This is not really for us, the way the deck is set up. I think this just lets you steal games, though. If you even turn him into a 3/3 with Menace, that's 8 damage out of nowhere. It's a second spell, too, so most likely makes him bigger. Yeah, we're going to take that. Basically going to be Battle Rage in this deck for any modern fans. Oof, this is not a particularly great pack for us, so we can take this as a 3-drop that kind of fits on theme a little bit. This also allows for double spells and makes things bigger. Does replace itself. We might just be taking that, honestly. This is not, it's just a super replacement level card. We'd be playing this if we'd gone the Bergstrider route in the first pack. Take Valor. It's fine, nothing super impressive. I don't even think we have a reason to take Snowlands. I mean, if there's truly nothing for us, sure, you take it, but take Valor. Lean towards aggressive. Oof. Giants is open. Definitely. What are we at for foretell cards that we maybe would splash blue? Do have a decent amount of them so far. I think there's enough upside. I don't really want more 4-drops. We already have 2. I don't think there's a lot of value in this. I don't think this is a very good card. So we'll take that and have some high upside. I'm not sure if somebody else is in this deck or we're just not getting the cards we want opened. Because this isn't super amazing as a card, just the 2/2 flyer. Like we'd play it. I don't really want a second one of those this early, and this is just, it's a fine trick. Like if it cost 1 mana, I'd be a lot more excited about it. I'm not even sure between these. We've got a decent amount of 3s already. Yeah, we're going to take this and hope that the trick wheels. I haven't ever had a problem seeing those go by late. That we will take, though. Probably like one of those. Do we have overlapping creatures? Not a ton. We definitely play one of those. Probably play one of either of these 2. But when we already have the Rune Crown, easy just to take that. It's a solid pickup for us. It's going to be bound in gold here. Somebody's green, getting some elf payoff. Red Doomblade hanging around late. I get to use this thing in one draft. It was solid. I would love to do some shenanigans with that. Yeah, these are really the two cards we are thinking of. If the draft turns into somewhat of a train wreck, we might play a second of those, but take the removal spell, be happy with it. And we want one of these at some point, but I think this is just better. It'll be an easy way to have two spells. Have haste is very solid. Red Doomblade. Nothing else great for us. I think being more aggressive, we don't really want these. Maybe we play one, but we'll take the more aggressive. Oof, these are some good things. I'd love to have the Valkyrie. I think we're going to take an Onslaught, though. Just a great trick. Should let us steal some games. We would love a Valkyrie for the deck, too, though. But having two Onslaughts is great. This is just very mediocre, since we're not a grindy deck. We're going to take the Blast. I don't know that we play it, but I don't think we're playing anything else there. If this was white, blue to activate, maybe we take it. Since we only currently have the one source, I think we're going to take Snow-Covered Plains just in case we get any kind of snow payoff. Again, there's Snow Plains. We're not playing anything else. I mean, if we were confident we had a second blue source, maybe. I think we're going to take the trick. Do we have overlapping creatures yet? We're starting to get into 4 clerics. I think we take that. We probably would play a pet. Most likely not playing 2 of those. I do really like this card for Constructed. I think it works really well with the companions, where you can just put a companion out of your zone right away too. Not particularly for this deck, but this is very awkward that this is the kind of card you want to wheel. We're probably going to take it, though. Let's do that, another effigy, but I think we're just going to take this. There's nothing really for us here. I'm almost thinking about just taking the rare to take it. We're going to do that because it's more fun. Not the ideal, if you're drafting on the Pro Tour, not the way you'd go about it, but I think we're close enough to having a deck, and that one drop should wheel if we've been drafting correctly, so I might just take the World Tree the same way, because I don't think we're going to get the blue land to play both of these. So we would need, I want to play 2 of them. I think we need at least 3 blue sources. It's a rough ass. We're going to take the World Tree too. Just going on with our free-to-play plan of let's grab some rares that we can actually use. Do we want a second crown? That seems pretty aggressive. We might take the land so we can actually play one of these. I think any of these come back, and I think having 2 crowns is starting to get to be a bit much. Especially only having the 1 rune so far. Probably think that as it is a creature. It can be kind of a removal spell. It's something we can cast for cheap. Definitely taking that. I don't think there's much. I mean, we'd love to have one of those if we're really splashing. Don't have enough creatures to play that, but an aggressive 1-drop creature we want. I'm wondering if there was another drafter in this type of deck, or if a lot did not get opened, because it started off really well for us, and then we did not hit a lot of extra things. Some good green cards, good blue card. We don't want to play either of those, so we're going to take this as, again, a pseudo-removal spell. Jeez, Giants just going all over the place. I think it's probably the champion to have something down to keep getting aggressive. We'd play another one of those. Probably play a pick 2, but we have quite a bit of non-creatures. We've got a couple onslaughts, so we don't need to go deep on that. Take the Faithful. It's a fine card. We will take another one of those as a 2-drop now. This line has been pretty good. I think there could be a sweet Giants deck going around. Maybe we should have been moving into. I think pack 1 looked like this deck was pretty open, and I don't hate where we are. I think we can definitely get some wins with this. Most likely we're not going to play this, though, with only 2 sources. Probably just that as a 2-drop. So yeah, I think for right now we're cutting that. Cutting this, just let this be mana fixing. Take that, it's on theme. Jeez, the Giants are going late. Got one of those to start. I don't know if we'll be wide enough for this. Probably not for 2 of them, but how many creatures are we at? We're at 17, so we should be fine on creatures. I don't think we're playing 2, but there's, in theory, a world we could. Well, let's see what we can cut. Might be playing some bad 2-drops. Get that out of there. Okay. I don't even know if we want all those as 4. Let's look at this, the other view. Let's see what the curve looks like a little more. I think we'd like to go down 6 to 16 lands since we're being a little more aggressive too. So maybe a more even split that way. We've got a Bound in Gold as removed. We didn't get any of the Black Comet removed, which isn't a great sign. I don't think we really want to mill since we're milling this way, so I think we're going to cut both of those. Just if a game slows down, there's no reason to mill ourselves out. Oh, we will leave this in. It's going to be potentially blowout value. What are we at for overlapping creatures? Right now it's Cleric is the main one. We cut one of those. There is some value too. If you have this, you attack, you trade with whatever they have, and then this comes back as a 2/2 and an additional 2/2, I guess. You get 2 of them though. I mean, it's not broken or anything like that, but it's just fine. Okay, Bound is definitely staying as our removal spell. I like him to push some damage through. These are technically 2-drops. We're going to need to cut some non-creatures though, I think. Do we really go wide at all? Other than the Spirit, not particularly. I think the Spirit's fine without that. Okay, so Recruiter might also go. I just don't think that's where we need to be. We're going to try to leave Pursuit in. It could end up being cut still, just as a way to potentially burn people out. Crown's kind of removal. We're going to need to cut something else that's just got a lot of extra things. Cutting the Cleric, we're down to 4 Clerics, and they're mostly those. And we don't have a lot of great overlapping creatures. I think we're going to remove that. I think too often it's just going to be a 2-mana Raise Dead, and we're not really in the market for that. So what do we have for 2-drops here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 2-drop creatures. These really set off the synergies too for the casting 2 spells, so I think those stay. Crown can remove something early. We are a little lacking on removal. So let's Artifact and Enchantment cost less, which is kind of sweet with these things. He might just be going, honestly. I've not been super impressed. I guess it does let us attack into bigger creatures, but ideally we're going to tap them down, bind them in gold, crown them. yeah, let's give this a run. Let's make sure we're okay for lands. Yeah, we should split this the other way, actually. So it should be heavier white. This can be our duel. So go down the swamp, go up plains. So 16 total lands. This could actually even be. We might push this and make this a 15 land deck. It's aggressive enough. And we're going to go for it, which means we're putting something back in. Probably Wither Crown most likely. Or we can play 2 of these, which is awkward cutting a land. I will definitely give it that. But we only actually have 1 card that's a 4 right now. Let's give those a try, see how they go. We have not played them a lot. I think they're very just average, but let's see how it goes. Anyone who's watching, give me a comment how you would have cut for the last couple things. I'm guessing most people would have drafted different and gone into giants. I can definitely see that, especially how open it was at the end. Oof, we're gonna potentially get really punished here. If we had a second land, I think we just snap keep this, but we're gonna mulligan. This is better. We're gonna get rid of an effigy. Like, we're gonna need to hit lands to win this game anyway. Just playing those probably isn't good enough to get there. I guess we can get rid of the pursuit for now. So we're probably gonna foretell these. I don't think this is a particularly great hand, to be fair, but so now that we have that, I think we're actually gonna lead with this. Try to make this into a 3/3, so if it dies. We will not offer a trade, though. Oh, we probably will attack into that to see what happens. That's so awkward. Just the worst. We could have been up a card. Now we get no value. I don't think I normally call on their part. Just this is such a high value card. Just terrible, though, that we... What awful... And then... Oh, those draws. I realize that's what you sign up for when you're playing this type of aggressive deck, but that was a brutal sequence. Okay, they do not want to go for the trades. We'll take that. I mean, they should win a long game just having the caller, but okay, find that land. I mean, we're liking this trading of damage. We'll trade 4 for 3 with lifelink all the time. Got a removal spell, or you're gonna foretell? Well, plus side is we're gonna get some value in this guy. Well, we can actually probably get some value next 2 turns. We'll foretell these, and then we'll start to get in there. I assume they're gonna have to hold back here. Find those giants. Oh, come on. Show me what you're getting. Well, that could be nice to set that up. We're going to swing this way, because if they double block, we'll eat there. Actually, we'll swim with all of them. I mean, it'd be nice to get the bonus, but I think they have to try to kill that. And we're not going to win by being... I mean, we probably should have. Probably should have put that on that first. Hindsight is not great. The old post-combat. Oops. Well, that's awkward. That was definitely a punt. We wasted a lot of damage. That might have single-handedly lost us the game, too. Because we would have gotten in for an extra, what, a can't block. So one of these is still alive. Yeah. Ugh. That was just bad on so many levels. I'm not sure why they're not offering the trade. I get that there's value, but we're just going to try to get one of these out for right now so we at least have a body if they somehow bounce this. We want to be able to keep attacking. It's really the only way we can win. And we will not block. We need to get damage in. If we draw a Kaya's, that can let us steal a game that we wouldn't otherwise. That's a card. Well, let's get in there for... This thing is trample haste, right? I think I would... I guess they needed the land, maybe? No. I think I would have played that first and tried to leave that back. Just get in there for 2. We can equip it up to go for the win next turn. If we hit a land, we're definitely gambiting this. Get rid of it. Just see if we get blown out. If they have a better mythic, that's some good value. Figure it out. Those are just the kind of things you have to know in life. Like, do they have a better bomb than Vorinclex? No, we will not block you. I have 0 reason to block. Oh, that's a good one. That's a really good one. It's a really awkward one on our part. We'll just play that out. We're gonna try to stay alive. Hope they don't have multiple Bergstriders. I think we're in a not good spot here when they flash this back. They get at least one more draw. So all they need to do is hit a removal spell and we're in a bad spot. If they don't hit a removal spell though, we can maybe steal a win. Sure. Feel a little better with them casting that. I mean, we will have to trade with that, unfortunately. Or at least attempt to trade with it. I think they should be attacking with their bigger guys, trying to get this game over. Personally. I mean, they're not in a terrible spot either way, but I think that's well, that really helps. Now, it probably doesn't matter. Do we hold this off and hope we get a second spell? Maybe. Yeah, I think if we didn't misplay this earlier, the game would be over, which is not fun. we're gonna hope to steal something with Kaya's shenanigans. It's a good sign if they're doing that. Jeez. Well, we can do one to them. We can sure do one to them. That might let us stay alive for a turn. So in theory, we can block and gain some life. I don't think it's actually enough. They haven't been super aggressive though, so let's see what they've got. Okay. I think they're just showing off now. They've got this. There's no way around that, even if they're conservative and they're attacking. Well, we had our first Super Timmy play, just costing us the game early on. Learn from me, don't do that. Well, hopefully Josh Jones, we can get some value against him. This is not the one we really want, but we're gonna keep it. So let's probably play this on turn 2, or foretell it on turn 2. Maybe make it a little bigger. Okay. So I think we can double spell next turn with those. So let's get that on there. Gain some life, make him a little bigger. We'd like to stop hitting lands though. That's a part of the reason that we... Ooh, giant, huh? I think we want that to be lifelinking too. Or do we want it to be on this one? I guess the flyer is probably the correct place to go with that. Yeah, more lands is not great in our 15 land deck. Hitting 6 of them is not how we want to play games. So we're reasonably disadvantaged just based on that. That's going to be awful too, just super punished. Well, we got to play this bad boy out. If they followed up with another one of these, game's just over. I've had this be really good in a couple decks and then just very mediocre in some others, obviously depending on how many of a specific type you're getting. Interesting. I mean, it's going to be just fine. Do we want the... I think we just want the 1/1. We're overall still not in a great spot, but we'll probably hold some spells to try to get flying damage in. It might be worth trading this off at some point to get the 1/1. I've only played this, I think, once so far. It's really good when you can pitch a land. It's a very nice mountain. don't think this is mostly where you want to be in this format. If you're going 5-color route, maybe that's a good reason for it, but when you have a bunch of foretell, just don't think you're going to be playing cards like this. Like in a normal format, that's fine. Getting the rune back is going to be at least solid. Let's make sure. I think it's in our graveyard. Yep. Draw us a card. Let's go for the equip right now. Let's get in there for 2 in the air. And we'll cast this next turn if it comes up. We'll cast it. There's nothing else we're doing. We could always, if we draw a creature, maybe we foretell it. We just need a lot of things to go our way to win this game. They're drawing pretty deep into their deck, so I assume when you're playing this many colors, you have some kind of ridiculous bomb. Okay. At some point, I think they need to start getting aggressive. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to offer the trade, we'll block and get our 1/1 flyer. That's not bad, actually. You're going to deal excessive damage to me? Wait, I draw a card. Jeez. That's a beating. I thought it did the extra damage to me. I'm definitely thinking of a different card, but let's get this out. I mean, our best hope is definitely to... Oh, we can cast that either way next turn. I guess let's equip that up. Just if they decide to attack us, we'll trade with a 3/3. We're basically hoping to burn them out. Let's kind of steal a win that way. Oh, that's a beating. We're gonna die really quick. The question is, do we want to let them draw a card? I kind of think we need to. We just want to not die here. I mean, we hope they don't have an answer to our removal spell or to our pinger, but we're gaining a couple a turn. I mean, how many more bombs can they have in their deck, right? Infamous last words. Let's equip this bad boy. Try to turn it into a race. I mean, they have, what, 11, 14, 16, so not a good race for us, but do what we can. Plus they have a handful of cards. This is definitely the best Giants deck I've seen so far. Oh, we are real dead. Oh, that was a heck of a draw. Good job, opponent. That was a beating. I definitely didn't think this would be an 0-3 deck if I had to predict. I would have guessed this is in the 2-3 win range, but we'll see. It's just not coming together. Some of the other drafts seem like they've been going pretty well. And that was a heck of a deck. I definitely give our opponent credit. They either got really lucky or very well identified what was open in their draft to hit that many good cards. So props to them. We tried to spend our life as a resource. Didn't work out. Yeah, I think we needed them not having haste would have been huge, but we needed to try to draw one of our 2 Kayas, which I don't think we've hit so far. Speak of the devil. Interestingly, we can't keep this hand. This one we can keep. I think we do want that. Yeah, we'll keep 6 here. Well, hopefully get some early damage in and try to get the burnout with this. I've not been impressed with this so far. This is the first time I've actually played with it. I played against it a bunch and was not super impressed. Yes, we will. We'll offer the trades. I guess we could shrink it. I think we're just going to offer the trade, though. We've got some ways to draw cards later. That's fine. We'll make our 1/1 and be done with it. Prevents any shenanigans of that. So this is just not at a good spot right now. Did they hit something with this? I didn't even see. I'm guessing not because there's nothing on there. So we could potentially give that double strike. Let's just give it the crown, though. Crown for the king, right? Give him his crown. We'll let them either sacrifice it or start taking damage. Okay. Maybe they have a second one. They just want nothing to do with that. I don't know if we really want to start milling yet. I guess we can let's just get the creature down. I know it's not the most efficient use, but we want to get some damage in. That's a little better. So we're definitely playing a pursuit unless we run into some trick. Hope they don't have the 2-drop that just eats it. Not only would that stall our board completely. That's a pretty good one. So I think there's value to getting that out, but let's see if they want to trade. I don't think they do. We'll just play another one. Maybe we can actually burn them out now. That's a reasonable clock. Gives us some. They haven't been hitting their lands either. At some point, we're going to get them with this. Probably play this and play this just to get the. Okay, Death Touch matters. Not at all to us, so it did hit them their land. Oh, they've got either a 3/3 or a. Interesting. I don't know why you're not holding that back. Okay. So the question now is, do we just want to get the damage in? Do we want to play him and this to start making him bigger? Well, let's go to combat. Let's get him there for 2. I've already got a creature in the graveyard, so it doesn't particularly matter. Yeah, we'll hit them. Oh, we don't have a black source. That's more awkward. Well, let's get him out then. And foretell one of these. Probably this one. So if we give him Menace, we can hopefully just end the game next turn. Making a 3/3, 8 damage. It's at least the goal. As long as I don't have a way to gain a bunch of life. No, we will not block. These do kind of, I guess when they're behind, put them in that awkward spot of they need to start getting aggressive because we'll just win the long game. So I think we can attack with everything and get this game mostly over. Because we can do 6 here. I mean, oh, I thought they were going to try to block it that way. I was like, that's an aggressive. Let's give this double strike. Do some trading, get in for some damage. Set them to 1. So they've got a turn to do 19 to us, or to remove both of them. They could remove both. Got there. I guess in combination, 2 of those on turns 4 and 5 are pretty good. It does help that they were stuck on lands too, to be fair to our opponent. It's not like they had their optimal draw. It does seem to be the way I've lost most in this format, is either just super flooding or keeping a 2-lander and never hitting a 3rd or 4th land. So I'm not sure how to correct for that when it's kind of on both ends, but it does seem to be what I've noticed. And that's in 16 and 17 land decks, not this 15 land monstrosity. Oh, we're going to mulligan again. We got both our colors. What are we putting back? I think it's just the pursuits were so far away from it. I mean, we would definitely take hitting 1, but black. So probably getting this out. Start getting some damage in. We'll actually just play a 2-drop now. One that we care less about if it dies. That's a little awkward. I mean, drawing this isn't my favorite thing either. Might be binding that in gold, bounding it in gold at some point. This card is overperforming 2-drop. Instead of a reasonable 3, but we're just not going to trade to leave them a 1/1. Ooh, that's awkward. Turns out this guy's not so good when you let's keep foretelling. We'll take a little early damage. If they offer the trade, we will trade with the Recluse. We will not trade with the Recluse, turns out. Are we just trading with this now? Not exactly where we want to be, but okay, well, that's something we needed to have happen. Playing that is not the best. What does this one do? It destroys exiled creature that creates power when creatures target opponent controls. So let's see if we can play around that a little bit. Just lock the Recluse down. I mean, we're going to take some damage, but if we can not have a creature removed, that's a big plus. So we'll go down to 7. If we had a 4th land, that would have been a very good draw. Let's just get out our creatures. No reason to let that exile something. That's all we would be doing. So we'll play 3 creatures out. And we could very easily just be dead too. Okay, that's not terrible. What do they have for 1 white? Must be the destroy a tapped creature, is my guess. So it's pausing to let them potentially destroy their own tapped creatures. So we will not attack into that. We will leave a bunch of 2/3s behind. Just kind of vomit out our hand here. And maybe they don't, but don't have that. It's still, we're in a more defensive position. We're going to try to hold down the board and start getting some damage back in with this. They're in a pretty good spot here, though. That's not making their spot any worse. Okay. So yeah, it leads me to believe that's what it is, because it's not pausing right now either. So let's get this out. Try to put the pressure on them to start doing something. It'll also give us the most value by letting it go as long as possible. Oh, that's pretty good too. I think it's fine to trade there, though. We'll take the Death Touch trade. Try to keep these. Oh, they've just got the +2/+2, don't they? We're just super dead. But if we don't block that, we're also dead. We can leave 1 to try to play around it. Okay, so if we leave 1 back, we still take 5, 6, 7, 8, or 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, like we're just, and at that point we've lost almost our entire board. Yeah, I mean they've got it. There it is. Yeah, we were dead either way though, so at least we correctly identified what they had. We just had no shot at beating that. Because we'd have 1 more creature, but be down life. It just... Let's enchant this. We haven't done this yet. That's how we drew it up. Well, at least we got to have him do things once. Yes, yes we are, sure. Good game, opponent. Oh, not the ideal league that we had, but we pulled 1 win out of it. It was definitely a Timmy league. We probably punted 1 game that we could have won. So I appreciate everyone for hanging around for it. If you saw other misplays, let me know. Definitely appreciate. Always trying to get better. Thank you again for watching. If you'd give me a like, comment, or subscribe, I definitely appreciate all of that. We'll continue to be back with more draft videos coming up, and we'll be moving into Constructed shortly too, as our free-to-play options run lower. So have a great day, everyone. Thanks again.